Construction Measurements and Rates, Part 3. And I'll be responding to this question that I received in Part 2. How do I charge for paint? This is a good follow-up question because I'll just use the example of the block wall that I use in Part 2. The block wall that I used in Part 2 was 10 feet long by 8 feet high. You divide by 9. For square meters, it would be meter is easier because you just multiply the length by the height and it's done. The rates that I'm including from the Incorporated Master Builders Association are suggested rates that are agreed on by the Incorporated Master Builders Association representing the construction industry and the unions that represent the construction workers. They are suggested rates which suggest that you should not pay the workers less. And these rates are not for contractors. The contractors will add their overheads, preliminary items, and markup to come up with their overall price. So this is not the price that contractor will charge anyone. This is a price that the workers are paid. So having said that, let's move on. Similar to measuring block work for laying of block, it is measured in squared. Painting is also measured in squared for the general surfaces of the walls. So it's the length by the height, divide by 9, get square yards, and length by height in meters, give you squared meters. The difference now is that you're painting both sides of the wall, so you'd have to multiply that by 2 to come up with the overall measurement for the wall. You also have to bear in mind that you should make deductions for windows and door openings. So you're supposed to measure those also and take them out, because there are other details that you will pick up. Details like the window openings and the door openings that are measured separately. They are measured in running distances, so foot run or meter run. And these are different rates because any measurement that is less than 1 foot or 300 millimeters, so 1 foot is the same as 300 millimeters in metric. Any distance that is less than that is called narrow width. So you will paint in narrow width. So those door openings and window openings are narrow widths and they attract different prices. There are also other narrow widths like skirtings and so on, door jambs that you'll apply narrow widths rates to as well. So there are a lot of breakdown of rates in the rate sheet, and that's why it's important to get it for yourself so you can see the differences. Now for the ceiling, it will be similar. You would measure the length of the ceiling by the width and you apply the rates that are recommended or the rates that you agree with the person you're working with. The rates will also be determined by the number of coats you're putting on. So 1 coat of paint is a different rate from 2 coats of paint. So that's also important. Now I will give you the rates that the Incorporated Master Builders Association provided for emulsion paint to wall 1 coat. Per square yard, $107. Per square meters, it will be $128. Emulsion paint for wall 2 coats. Per square yard, it will be $206, and per square meters, it will be $246. The ceiling would be a higher rate as well because you're working overhead, and overhead is attract a higher rate. You also have drywall, louvers, doors, grills, and so on. So those are different rates. Oil paint is a different price, different from emulsion paint as well. So I can't give you all those information. So that is why it's important for you to get the rate sheet for yourself. And that is at the Incorporated Master Builders Association. And for those who are asking about classes, I will have to think about that. If anyone needs one-on-one, that would be a completely different thing altogether. But I'll think about it and I'll let you know. Again, repost the items so that others can know, like them, comment, and thanks for the engagement. Appreciate it. God bless.